Hello there, folks. Welcome to another round of Modern. It's Dylan from All Two Universes, and on the left we have Shaka Pato playing Rakdos Scam, and on the right we have Josh Lundy playing Jeskai Breach. It's Jeskai Breach, really, without grinding. I almost said without Underworld Breach, but that is objectively wrong. It is not playing Mox Amber, Grinding Station, Thassa's Oracle, or Urza Saga anymore. It is instead playing more of a blue-red Murktide value Delver tempo game plan that just has Breach as a finish, because Underworld Breach is not an okay card, and I think people have finally come to realize it in Modern. Which is kind of funny, because it's banned in both Pioneer and Legacy, which are like the end caps for the Modern format. So, yeah. Card's messed up. If you're unfamiliar with what Underworld Breach is, it is a 2-mana enchantment, costs 1 and a red. It gives all cards in your graveyard escape, where their escape cost is their mana cost, and then you have to exile 3 cards from your graveyard. Notably, those cards, or the cards that you cast with escape, do return to the graveyard if you, say, cast a lightning bolt. So if you bolt from the yard, exile 3, that bolt resolves and then returns to the graveyard, which is able to then be replayed again. It is quite good. In fact, Underworld Breach is popping its way into many, many decks in the format currently. Between Grixis Death Shadow, the actual Breach combo deck, this Jeskai Breach deck, Blue-Red Murktide is now playing it as like a 2-of, I think. Prowess is playing it. Though Prowess has been playing it for about a year now. It flexes in and out every once in a while. So we'll give them credit. They've been doing their thing. I guess Josh does not have Delirium. I would say one thing that this deck can do, and Murktide has been doing it, is turn 1 play Chandler, turn 2 play the Shredder, then cast Bauble, Connive, and Surveil into a 3/3 Channeler. But not the case here. Looks like we're getting a little bit of lag there. Love that. Maybe it's just processing, and on your end, you saw no lag. Oh, the mysteries of not rendering video before you commentate. Shaka has been playing Rakdos Scam for a little while now. He at one point in time was a Breach player, but now he wants to evoke elementals. Now you'll notice we had Fair Breach on camera for round 1 and round 2 this week. This is round 2. The lists are a little bit different. So the round 1 player was not playing Gigantha, was in fact playing Counterspell, Furies in sideboard, and then a couple other things that are good cards that require 2 pips that do not let you play Gigantha. Josh, playing Gigantha, is on a more traditional version of the deck based off of what was going around on Goldfish a couple weeks ago. If you had saw a Jeskai listing for generic Ragavan, that is this deck, which I find to be kind of funny.
Yeah, so it's just the Dragon. Yeah, thank you. I apologize. Thank you.
I think a little bit of a miscommunication about, I think Josh had actually said Connive instead of Surveil. There's a Blood Moon on the board. Moon, really not that impactful against this deck. Most of the spells they want to cast are, red. And the deck only really plays, it can only play single blue pip cards. It does mean that if Josh wants to cast an Expressive Iteration and then cast a Spell Pierce, the following turn, or during Shaka's deck's turn, he has to have Treasure or Second Basic Island, which I think the deck does play. I literally played the deck in New Jersey the prior weekend, and I don't know why I cannot remember my deck list. I cannot remember the lands. It might only be one island.
Sorcery artifact land?
Sorcery? I don't know, go look at generic Ragavan on Goldfish.
13, right?
In fact, you can check the description, because there will be a list there below. That coffee is aggressively mediocre, but that's okay. This is a long video. A 50-minute round. We are going to need some coffee. Say, Fable the Mirror Breaker coming out for Shaka here. Chapter 1, we'll be creating a 2/2 Goblin Shaman.
I just added it, dude. I can't.
Now, this Gobble Chomp is going to be really useful for Shaka, assuming it gets to attack and survive, as it will create treasures that way he will have access to additional black mana. So if he draws Dolphy, Voidwalker, or Grief, he will be able to hardcast them without worrying about, you know, evoking the Grief or, you know, having actual black mana. Gonna punch in here. Probably 4 or 5 damage. There's a fairy in the yard, so. Yep, 5 damage. Gonna put Shaka to 8.
And I'll pass 2.
Does have lethal on the crack back. Meant to say on the backswing, but. Or crack back. Chapter 2, gonna discard up to 2 cards, draw that many. Shaka not really drawing any of the scam elements here.
Combat? Yeah.
Gonna crack into the shaman, make a treasure token. That channel will take 2 damage. 2 land for turn. Cast Fury here. We'll do 4 damage divided. I imagine we just go 1 damage to the channel that took damage and then shoot down the other one.
We'll do 4 here.
Right. Directs all 4 back at the shredder. Josh going to cast a lightning bolt here, targeting the Fury. You get 2 surveil triggers. Imagine you're just going to bin them, especially if he has access to Underworld Breach. Shaka going to pop the treasure, going to feign death or undying malice, whichever one it is. Only shoots down 1 channeler. I think he forgot that one of them had damage on it. It's okay. Josh going to untap, draw. Land for turn, attack for 3. Then breach, bolt, bolt. Seems quite likely here. Oh, look, that hand motion there implied a lot more than 2 lightning bolts, but yeah. Alright, folks, Josh is going to take game 1. We'll be right back with game 2 in just a second. Wait for that nice little cross dissolve.
Oh, I completely forgot it is. Why did you hold up here?
Bam! Look at that. Cross dissolve, movie magic. Archflat's going into the battlefield for Shaka on the play. Ragavan getting dashed in. Imagine that Ragavan is not connecting. I'd be very surprised if Josh does not have any type of interaction in his hand. going to bolt the Walker. Now Bolt will get exiled to the Dolphy pile, as you know. The spell will resolve before game state or state-based action kills the Dolphy. Ooh, we got Feign Death here. See, Josh has a Prismatic Ending in hand, and I feel like I would have cast Prismatic Ending targeting that first. But he could just be holding it for other things if he expects Shaka to side it in. Maybe like an Unlicensed Hearse. Or, yeah, I guess Unlicensed Hearse is the big one. I was going to say Rest in Peace, but Shaka's playing Rakdos, so he can't play that card. I don't know what else he'd be too afraid of to not just immediately pending the Dolphy. There's a Hall of Heliod's Generosity. Pretty cute. Gets to put Underworld Breach from the yard back on top of the deck. That's not a Dolphy Voidwalker. That is a Teferi Time Raveler that is bouncing a Dolphy Voidwalker. Now this would be a point where Blood Moon would actually be pretty good. Well, I mean, it takes Josh off a white mana, which means the Prismatic Ending is worthless in his hand. The Teferi doesn't really do anything in relation to the moon. But Dolphy coming back out. Unlicensed Hearse also getting played. Going to play Mountain as a land for turn. Plays a Ledger Shredder. I'm going to Prismatic Ending the Dolphy here. Going to get a Connive Trigger. The card will be put in the Dolphy pile. Terrifying card to put into the Void counter pile.
This is like that. Yeah. Wait, didn't you just play that?
And we'll draw for turn. Gonna cast the Thoughtseize here, taking a little peek. You see a Teferi, a Ledger Shredder, and a copy of Consider. My brain turned to soup right there for a second.
Yeah, 15 to 16.
No si bueno.
I'm at 16. I'll take the
Takes it to Teferi, puts the Teferi in the air. That makes sense to me. It's going to Fatal Push the bird. There's supposed to be a Connive Trigger there. Shaka did cast 2 spells. Okay, people just miss trigger sometimes. It's A-okay. Okay, gonna fetch with a Scalding Tarn here.
I'll pass to you. I'll take Teferi and the bobble. And the bobble? I haven't seen it.
The car is eating some things away. Hearst is getting crude here, going to attack into Teferi. Lets Teferi die. I'm going to Unholy Heat here.
Instant Planeswalker, a land creature.
Now with Delirium, killing the hearse. It's kind of funny that he needed the 4 type with the Planeswalker. Right, dashes Ragavan out here. Going to attack in for 4 points of damage. Exiles the Dolphy Voidwalker. Probably would be really good to cast if he had another treasure.
Yeah, I know. I'm still going to give you a hard time. Excuse me. So you take 5, go to 10? That's what you say. I'm sorry, 4. 4 to 11. Yep, sorry. That's gonna stay that.
I'm going to pay 3 mana, put Gigantha in hand. I'm not the biggest fan of Gigantha as a card. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't do anything. If we look at like the other 2 companions that were played and did super well, Yorion, you know, had an ETB effect that was very powerful. Lurrus had a static ability effect that was very powerful. Gigantha has a tap ability that isn't bad, but like, I don't know. I just don't know if it justifies the card. And it does come, I think, at a deck building cost for at least this deck. I think the counterspell variant's a little bit stronger. And I think Fury out of the board is also pretty good. You know? Fury's just a good card. It's not the best incarnation, but it's pretty good. It's nice that Gigantha's huge. It's a 5 mana 5/5, but the remaining companion.
Considering a lot today. Considering a lot of.
I'm gonna cast Consider. Bins a Channeler, picks up a land.
12 or. I may actually be going down to 8, I think. 8? Yeah, I think you mixed the two. From, yeah. I feel like you keep getting rid of them effects that just keep coming. I keep pushing towards it. I guess so. Somebody's rolling one. I don't even see it.
Alright, that Fable's gonna transform to a reflection of Kiki Jiki. Oh, Bitter Reunion, you can give that haste too, which is cool. See if our call also with you activate it. That's pretty cute. Camera looks like it's sideways now. How do they just hit the mats? I think this game is very firmly in Shaka's control. Shaka can just make a copy of Fury here. ETB, deal 4 to Gigantha. Attack in. First strike will kill it regardless.
So I will block.
Ah, he just presents lethal anyways, it doesn't matter. I take damage.
Yeah, I'm dead either way.
Yep, game 2 is going to go to Shaka. We'll be right back in just a second of game 3 once that nice little transition happens. Boom, look at that. Most simplistic transition in the book. I guess Fade to Black's technically more simple, but I'm going to go Steam Vents into a Darcy here. Using those beautiful Space Shock lands. Am I biased? Yes. I like space. But that's okay. Shaka. It's not doing anything on turn 1, unfortunate. Has not done the scam thing at all. Games 1, 2, or 3 for turn 1. Josh fetching out a basic island here. Which makes sense to me. 2 mana, play the bird. Play the bauble. Going to connive and surveil here. We'll surveil. Dumps an instant into the yard. Now Shredder just needs to drop another creature type. Or another type. Puts Monastery Mentor into the yard. Now if that bauble gets cracked, he'll be able to swing in for 3 here. Cracks the bauble, peeks at Shaka's deck. Attacks in for 3. Shaka fetching here, going to 19. Imagine he's just killing the Chandler.
Drawing your upkeep.
Be a bolt. Will be a fatal push. I feel like ideally it's bolt, right? Because then you can push the shredder. All right, pushes the Chandler. Maybe he has second push for the bird. It could also have just been his only removal spell. That is very possible. Does have Fury in hand. Evokes Fury, pitches Moon, kills the Shredder. Going to fetch here. Going down to 16. Probably getting a basic spawn.
Playing the Dasher Ragman.
I think at this point I was answering a judge call. I was curious as to why the life total didn't get updated, but I was like, I'm pretty sure. I was just doing a judge call thing.
Oh, I'm at 16. Yeah, that's what I got. So Dasher Ragman. I go to 15. Yep. Is that what you Yep. Okay. Sorry, when you said Dash Ragman. It is 14 to 15. I'm at 15. I'm going to play up. Pretty good hand you got there.
Alrighty, Thoughtseize, and a Ragavan hit. See Bolt, Ragavan, Underworld Breach, and a Mishra's Bauble.
I'll take the breach.
Takes the Breach very reasonably. Alright, dashes Ragavan. Both players just kind of dashing the Ragavans back at each other. Bob's going to show us a Fable of the Mirror Breaker.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. No, but you go to 12 on the. Oh, thoughts again. Right. Yep.
Life totals seem to have been adjusted correctly. Alright. Gonna leave that Ragavan in exile. Josh's Ragavan will return to hand.
Yeah, drawing your upkeep.
Alright, fetching with Verdant Catacombs here. I imagine we're going to see the Fable come out here. There's that Fable of the Mirror Breaker that we talked about.
Got you at 9. Yep.
I love the gameplay pattern of this dash Ragavan back and forth. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a little silly, but I love it just the same. Alright, Fable's gonna go to 2. We're gonna discard up to 2 cards, draw up that many. Alright, Black Leafless coming in tapped here. Going to dash out Ragavan, attacks him for 2. Josh will take 2, go to 12.
Return the favor for you.
Finds the Ragavan off the Ragavan. Activating Heliod, putting Underworld Breach on top of the deck. Josh's mana here, not the greatest. He only has 1 red source. Going to dash Ragavan again. Attacks him for 2.
Got you 7.
And to make get a feign. I can never tell which one it is off the card art. At this perspective. It's either Undying Malice or Feign Death. I think it's Malice. Alright, Ragavan returning to hand. Rag's doing the rag thing. Right. Reflections of Kiki-Jiki. 2-mana dash Ragavan. Attacks in for 2. Josh is going to go to 10. Won't make a treasure. Gonna exile Steam Vents. This game's just going long because both players don't have anything.
So I got you at
Shaka
5.
goes to 5 here.
And myself at 10.
Is dead to bolt off the Ragavan hit. Unless he wants to give him the Fable. Right, dashes Ragavan in. Does not reveal Lightning Bolt. Shaka has no fear. Goes down to 3.
I'm at 10 with 3.
Alrighty, as a Chandler, we are in the tank.
Iliad too good.
Has 6 mana available. Do you see a Fury in his hand, which will answer the Dragon's Rage Chandler? Can put Josh to 4. Which is pretty cool. Or did the Fable flip this turn? No, the Fable flipped last turn. So he can cast Fury, make a copy of Fury attack, but is a mana short, 2 mana short of dashing Ragavan as well. Alright, unlicensed Hearse. Activates the Hearse. Targeting probably Lightning Bolt and Underworld Breach. Josh is going to put the Breach on top of his deck with Heliod. Bolt gets exiled. Counter goes on the car. Shaka evokes Fury here. Makes a copy of the Fury. And then we'll be able to attack in for 6 damage.
So he's dead. Yeah. So I have a copy. And copy dies, right? Well, I'm gonna attack. Oh yeah. See, I'm sorry. So I go to 4.
Josh goes to 4.
Right? 10 to 4. Is that right? Am I? Yeah, you're right. Pass to you.
We know Josh is drawing Underworld Breach here. We're going to be a little in the tank for a little bit about our decision here. I think it's dash Ragavan attack.
No cards in hand. Turn 1.
It's like the first thing. Time gets called. Yeah. Doing the breach math of what needs to be exiled and all that jazz. Right, 2 mana.
Right? Oh, you attack with the Fury? Yeah, yeah.
The Fable is tapped.
Might as well see what the Ragavan gets us, huh? Maybe it'll get a
Dash Ragavan for the potentially final time this game.
I would accept the. Let me make sure. So then I read this. I have the. Okay, yeah, I can do it. Put you to 1. Son of a.
Gets a Seasoned Pyromancer off of it. That's a huge hit.
Breach my hand, I guess.
And a great thing to take away from Shaka's ability to top deck. I wonder if there's an argument here to cast it, discard the breach,
Right? Yeah.
just draw 2 cards,
I don't know yet.
see if you pick up the Lightning Bolt.
Go to 1.
Isn't able to cast breach plus that. And casting the Pyromancer does also get you a 1/1. Could just cast breach, then also cast breach, cast bauble as many times from the yard as you can. I don't know. I feel like I'm casting the Pyromancer every time. Because breach cast both channelers is the same number of bodies on the board.
No, the mentor.
Alright, cast Monastery Mentor from the yard.
They're not flyers, especially that first there. I'll play Bobble you.
Cast Bauble from the yard.
Brain's not working. Let me see one more time.
Page dies. Draw a card. I think that's going to be game for Josh. I don't feel like the Mentor play as much as I liked the Pyro play. One man is going to play Ragavan here. Shaka will need another blocker is the issue.
Target the Earth.
Yeah, Prismatic Ending targeting the unlicensed players. Prowess triggers. That's going to be the game. Josh will get a 2-1 with Fair Breach versus Rakdos Scam. Thank you for watching, folks, and have a great rest of your day.
Close one. That was the interesting game.
And that one turn where I furied, if I had a land in my hand,